Every great civilization has a record of a period of a golden age when there was no war, no dispute, no lying. And this was attributed to the fact that language had not been discovered, and the telepathic function was the principal means of communication. Now, in relation to the order, those of the few isolated settlements which survived on the European coastline discovered that some retained the telepathic power, but most of them, because of the terrible traumas and trials they had undergone, had lost it. These isolated groups then began to migrate east, and in so doing they had to, in their isolation, develop languages as a means of communication. It does explain why disparate groups scattered all over the earth today have languages with no connection, languages which arose spontaneously. But over and above this, psychics in every community retained a telepathic capacity.
Members of the groups who emigrated east returned to the west. The last people to settle down ended up in Ireland. By then, the remaining telepaths had formed a secret order.
The order at every stage had to remain outside society, within it, but at the same time not of it. A secret order. Secrecy is not something which we think a good thing, but it is essential for survival. And as society developed, it became more and more essential for survival. The old saying is, where do you hide a pebble but on the beach? You can't keep your order secret by going off into a remote place, into a monastery, and cutting yourself off from civilization. It's essential that you interpenetrate the society. Not for any purpose of power, which is the usual aim of most secret societies, but for your own protection. And a secondary function, as far as I can see, from my knowledge of the history of the order, they tried at every stage of history to influence for the good the way history was developing. And their peculiar faculties gave them the capacity to do so. So they may have saved a few bad calamities in that fashion, that's social calamities. The dangers were very great. The telepathic capacity is the great danger. It's the great source of danger. Kings, princes, made prisoners of telepaths to use them to interpret the thinking of those around them, to know who are their enemies, where the threats came from.